When I say there's so much more going on, I'm going to tell you a few more things that are going on. So, COVID is your enemy. A lot of us got COVID and they're pretty good people. They're probably people of God that's following you behind and they're not bothering you, but they're observing you living sinful. They're observing you living ungodly. They're observing you having sexual activity. Half of the things that are behind you. And at some point, if they have to keep observing you and seeing, they have to send sinful people behind you. Because a godly person cannot continue to see you have sex outside of marriage, see you have sex, period, because there's certain demons attached to observation of someone having sex. So a lot of times y'all sitting up here and y'all don't know what places y'all are in. Because I'm going to tell you something. These people aren't telling you that they done pulled you out your home and put you in their facilities and using you like a lab rat. And using all kinds of manipulative tactics to maintain control of you. So they still trying to maintain control of you. If they got to erase your memory completely and put you to a dumbfounded state, and I'm going to be real with you, they have done this to me where I'm just like dumb, like I'm in a daze type thing. And you're going through these dazes not because of the fact that you're a loser. It's the fact because you're a winner. They ain't pulling that mess with nobody else. They pulling it with you. And it's the reason why they pulling it with you. Because they mad that you got something that they don't got. You don't went to God, ask God for forgiveness. Start living for God. Start doing stuff for God. Start praying. That's the worst thing. Because I'm so not a prayer. I know prayer warriors. I'm learning how to pray. Like seriously, I'm actually writing down prayers. Like I got my little prayer book and I got like the 5-minute prayers and stuff like that. So what I do every day, I'm writing down prayers and I'm starting to recite prayers that people who know how to pray already pray. Because I'm so not a prayer warrior. Start getting into the atmosphere of praying and doing what you got to do. Because I can honestly tell you, you looking at these celebrities, half of them going through I Am Legend, and they ain't Will Smith. Half of them going through I Am Legend. They blend in with the disease. The disease is unrighteousness. The disease is wickedness. They're blending in with that. Your blood don't blend in with that. Your blood blends in with God. You got some clergy. You got some people of God in your bloodline that actually fight against this type of disease. But they trying to fill you with certain stuff. They trying to fill you with bacteria. They trying to fill you with all this stuff. Why do they want you to stay back? They want you to stay back because guess what? The more they keep you back, the more they push theirs forward. The more they push the wicked agenda forward. The more they push the sinful people forward. I can't tell you. I heard people say, "Oh, you chose not to work. You chose not to work." Let me be real with you. I have worked jobs where I end up fired. I go in, I hadn't did nothing wrong and I was fired. So jobs are not security. I work for myself. I ain't working for nobody. That's still not security. I got a whole bunch of money. Money is not security. I'm going to be real with you. In this season, I tell people this, and I don't know if people understand this or not. You can have all the money in your hand, but if you don't even have the resources, you're not going to make it. Money has no... When this market breaks and it goes all the way down, if you don't have resources, you're not going to make it. And I'm going to tell you what's going on. The resources that they're giving you right now in the stores, half of it is like a month out as far as expiration. So you're going to have to build your own. You're going to have to be innovative, engineering, practice ingenuity, and build your own. Because with the type of things that we're getting ready to face, if you don't have certain resources, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. People ask me, why are you always buying seeds? You go in the store, you buy all these seeds, vegetable seeds and stuff like that. Trying to make it. Trying to make it. Because if I can't do nothing else, I can grow stuff, but I might die off before I can grow it because, hey, it takes a couple of months. So know what you're dealing with. Are you prepared for what's coming next? Because there's a whole bunch. It starts like this. We're starting with the Antichrist. Antichrist say, okay, we tend to think that we're not dealing with Antichrist because the enemy is clever. Evil is clever. We're going to deal with the Antichrist either way. We're going to deal with them in the courts. We're going to deal with them in real life. We're going to deal with them in a lot of different situations. We got so much stuff going on. It's mandated at this point that we realize that we're going through Antichrist times and not even aware of it. We're shopping at the Antichrist stores, supporting the Antichrist. And we didn't even know that we were supporting them. Anything that's against the Constitution, anybody that's trying to take your constitutional right against you, they part Antichrist. Don't let them teach you any difference. They part of the apocalyptic, what they call them, horsemen that was sent out to destroy you, plague you, and disease you. They don't care nothing about you. And half of the time we're shopping at their store. We're spending our money there. We're working for them. We're utilizing the service. Why? Because that's the service that's available. Because the ones who's supposed to be for God, they have their Antichrist soldiers already working for them, stopping people from using them. And after a while, I'm not going to keep letting you talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to keep letting you treat me any kind of way. And this is the craziest thing that most people don't understand. I hate when I go into stores and they ask me to hand them my bag. I get so sick and tired of them saying, oh, can you leave your bag here? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, no, I really don't want to leave my bag with you. I'm trying to be nice. And yesterday, it bothered me so much because when I'm thinking to myself, and I had to say it to that person, I say, ma'am, if I want to steal, I can still steal with this bag or without this bag. In fact, if I want to steal from you, I'm going to come in here without a bag so that I can make sure I pack up all the crap of y'all's and that I won't. Since that's your mandate, I can steal without a bag. And this is how I honestly felt. And I had to tell the person that, what that was yesterday? But they running people away from establishments. And it's interesting. They have no customer service skills, so they still running the people. People still trying to shop with you, still trying to do business with your store. They running the people. Half of the stuff on your shelves, halfway expired. The people are running your people away from you. You refuse to hire good people that's willing to work. And then when the good people are there working, they end up blank the hell out in your store. This is happening in your store where they ending up blank the hell out, sending a caller somewhere, and productivity isn't happening. Because your store and your places are considered a game place where everything playing, everything doing stupid stuff, everything trying to sit up there and cause problems. And yes, this is connected to COVID. Oh, and don't wake up law enforcement. You don't have plans. Law enforcement don't have plans on catching these rapists. Half of the time, I feel like they are the rapists. That's why you don't want to catch them. But guess what happened? They end up raped off because a lot of these dudes that's running around here who don't want to catch the rapists, we know you taking it anally. Women who send up there, these women keep telling you, look, we're being raped. and you still sitting up there acting like you don't want to sit up there and take their police reports. They go to the hospital. The hospital don't want to take no police reports and stuff like that. And we heard about how bad they told y'all last time. But you feel like it ain't happening to you this time. So you sitting up there, they just trying to let your gluteus maximum heal to repenetrate your tail later. It was a little loose, so they trying to sit up there and find new victims. But before you catch the person that did this mess to you, half of the time you already know who they are. Maybe it's because you in that little hierarchy game. So you're toot and booted for them willingly. We already know they know. We already know. I know you feel like you're going to go into court and you're going to throw up that signal. And one of these days you're going to throw up a signal saying this one go free and that one going to go right to prison. And guess what? They know you threw the signal, but they sent them to prison anyway. I'm telling you how this game play. You don't have buddies like you think you have buddies. This thing is out of order. It's chaotic. And see, they want you to rage against them. Sometimes it ain't the fact that you're not on point. They want you to rage against them. So they test the waters as much as they can. That's like a mom telling a child, or like me with a child. I'm saying, baby, I'll be here when you get back. And I'm trying to stay in that spot until you come back. I'm doing everything I can to make sure I sustain that spot until you come back. Until I can't sustain that spot anymore and I got to let it go. Because it ain't worth the losses. You'll just have to find me because it's not worth the losses that I'm having to endure. It's not worth the casualties that I'm having to take. It's not worth the certain losses that I got to go through. I wanted to stay there and hold down the fort. But we have to get scattered a little bit because we got to get lost in this thing a little bit because I can't hold it down with everything going on. Know what y'all dealing with. Know what y'all dealing with. You're dealing with real war. In war, we have to get scattered a little bit. My mama might leave me here and say, baby, I'm going to be back. She comes back for me, I'm nowhere to be found. Got lost a little bit. I can search all day and night. The system a lie. I will never probably find you. We're dealing with this. We're dealing with a society that's wicked. Period. Point blank. It's wicked. They want children sexually active. You're a little baby. I'm gonna tell you, this is the sad part. They be full of disease. They want something that isn't. They culture taught them to pass disease to an innocent person and they'll get healed. Their culture taught them that. So they go find a person with no STDs, no nothing, get them that STD, and they're in the same simulation type mess you in, but their culture healed them. We're taught something totally different. You want to get healing? Go to the doctor. You want to get healing? Take medication. You know what's wrong with you? Fix it. Ain't nobody fixing nothing for you. You're going to have to fix it yourself. We're taught independence. They're taught independence too, but their independence isn't nothing like ours. Their independence is blood seeking, innocent seeking. Seek after that which is righteous and destroy it, and we will give you what you want. So pay attention. How about you throwing parties, right? You don't know you're a dealer. Dilly didn't even know he was a dealer. I'm gonna be real with you. You trying to hang out with TD Jakes and trying to get some of these demons out of your house. Everything that's about you, you've been trying to find people to exorcise some of these demons that's going on around you, because they're not telling the whole story. Even with Jay-Z. Jay-Z sitting up there talking about something, man, I'm reading Qurans, I'm reading everything, trying to get some of this mess from around me. I don't want nothing to do with it. Pay attention. They done called them righteous men, and the righteous men ain't standing up either. They falling at these parties. I don't know if you remember the story about when Jesus passing through. He calls to the centurion, a soldier, and say, I'm going to go to your house. The soldier say to him, look, my house is the dealer house. We got a lot of stuff going on. You ain't going to be able to rest there. You ain't going to be able to play there. You ain't going to have nothing going on there but wickedness. Bruh, find somebody else. Because if you come to mine, you ain't going to have no soul no more. He said, no, I got to go to your house. See, a lot of times we're not understanding that you got some righteous people that are keepers of hell. Your house is hell. You are a keeper of hell. The only thing that you can keep order of is yourself, because everything that's around you is hell. And you want to bring order, but you can't. So you got to deal with this stuff smartly. How am I going to do it? Because how you going to scream out hell? You can't even see hell. You ain't see the hell that's going on. That's why Joe Blow so-and-so, he following you everywhere. You can't see him. He trying to make himself known to you, or she. You can't see them. They throwing dishes all over your house. You can't tell them that y'all don't see that. Stuff getting stolen around you because they want to be vigilant and they want to be seen. They probably even want to help you. Some of them probably want to help you and try to give you some guidance. Ain't no telling. But in this season, I have to tell you the truth. When you're dealing with COVID, a lot of it ain't for you. A lot of it's not. You're like the century. You sitting up there, you over a hell house. My house don't run like this. But you over a hell house. Be careful who you have drop furniture off to your house. I remember I was working in law enforcement, and I set up there. I had been staying with my mom because I had just now went through a homeless situation, and I had lost everything. So income tax time came. Thank you, Jesus. Income tax time came. I ended up getting me a small 2-bedroom apartment, 1 bathroom. I set up there. My income tax check was kind of high that year. I think I was like about, 510 or something like that. It's pretty good. And I sat up there and I went and I decked out my apartment. I forgot to change the locks on my front door. So the enemy's already started to play. See, I'm going to tell you something. That story about the prodigal son, he went out of his mind when money came. The enemy going to start trying to get you in those 7 deadly sins when money come. Be smart. Them 7 deadly sins come with money. Because that's how COVID works. See, COVID wants you to have money. The reason why because COVID feel like the more money you get, the more sin you're going to commit. Because they're going to attack you with sin to try to get money from you. You get what I'm saying? So you might have money coming in. Guess what? They want you drinking. They want you smoking. They want you doped out. They want you rocked out. They want you with your men's. They want you with your women's. They want you to spend all your money on these women and these men and not taking care of yourself. That's that prodigal son. They're going to hit you with that prodigal son. So you better know what you're doing. So here I am. I got my apartment. I'm getting hit with that 7 deadly sin, that prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to notice certain stuff. House going in pure chaos. You get what I'm saying? This is that centering. Your house in chaos. Only person who can fix it is God, because God the only one who can see it, because sin got you blinded where you can't deal with it. You can't bring order because you're in sin. You can't bring knowledge because you're in sin. See, when you stop sinning, it's that point where you wake up out of sin and you can see your enemy clear and you can tell them, y'all won't have this reign no more. And when you wake up, be ready to fight. Be ready to fight, because they're gonna try to abuse you. They're going to take you through a lot. So be ready to fight. Be ready to sit up here and go into warfare for your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. But above all things, make sure you call law enforcement. Because if they ain't got no law enforcement, they ain't got no nothing, we implement that Patriot Act. We are law enforcement. We implement it. Just give us a little time to snap back. But they ain't going to give you that, so you better know what you're doing. Because you ain't waking up alone. Other people are waking up with you. They done kept you blinded for so long. They done kept you out of it for so long. They done kept you in certain situations for so long. They did that. They got away with it. Because they had you in this like simulation type thing. They send up that they trying to kill you off. So they feeding you their feces. They're putting piss down your throat. They're doing all this different stuff trying to give you hepatitis A, B, and C. Hepatitis wasn't just what people thought it was. It was them. It was the enemy doing that. You thought that you was going to eat feces, and they're putting it out to certain people that you out your mind, and that's what you're doing to yourself, and you're not. So and every time they sit up there and say to you, you need to take accountability, ask them when the hell they're going to take accountability for what they did to you. Let me know when you're going to take accountability for what you did to me and how you compelled me and how you did this, because that's how they end up getting away with stuff, because you're too busy taking accountability for some of the mistakes that you didn't even make. You were in a prodigal son state. You couldn't even form a thought process. They was forming thought processes for you. But they still can say, oh, you don't take any accountability for anything. Do y'all? Look how chaotic this place is, and that's part of their wickedness. Playing on the mind. You send up, you forget in certain stuff. Oh, I forgot that I put that there. But think about it. How many times you looked in that spot and that thing was not there? So did you really forget? Or is somebody playing? You looked at that same spot. And this is why they tell you, make sure you look everywhere before you start saying anything. This is part of the reason. Before you say anything is lost, make sure you look everywhere. I mean, up and down every spot that you could possibly look. Because the enemy stay playing, doing dirt against our people, doing dirt against y'all. Know what you're dealing with. So you're going through memory loss. You shouldn't have Alzheimer's. How old you is? 70? 50, you shouldn't have Alzheimer's. This comes from years and years of neglect by the enemy through sin. Through sin. The enemy's so flamboyant. Oh, it's not your lifestyle. Your lifestyle good. You can do whatever you want to do. Guess what? They can brag like that because wicked is winning. Them heifers know wicked winning. That's why they bragging like that. They making money. Guess what? Wicked paying their they paying off their demonic property. Them people under demonic possession, they straight. They ain't paying them that much, but they okay. They got a little something to floss a little bit. They got more than you got. Know what you're dealing with. These people steal. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. God came so that you can have life. What happened to the prodigal son? Prodigal son went through demonic possession. The devil came, stole his money, planned to kill him off, and left him destitute with nothing. Still killed, and they destroyed him. He was supposed to build. My dad gave me enough money to build. Guess what? Anytime you sit up there and he says, the servants, the ones that slave in my dad's house, don't eat pig food. Don't eat stuff given to the dogs. Don't eat stuff that's given to the pigs. They don't eat anything unless their table is lush. And these is my dad's servant. This how you know when you made it. When your servants say, look, we live good too. We live better than everybody that's in the hood. Everybody that's out the hood. We living better than them. This when you know that you really own. Like you really on a whole nother level. When people that work for you say, look, we ain't got nothing to worry about. The prodigal son sat up there and said this. The prodigal son say, the servants in my father's house live better than this. Now he had to beg for a job to feed the pigs. As he's working, he don't even make enough money to feed himself. So he found himself eating pig food. And he said the servants, when he came back, remind you, the devil had him that long. The devil had him that long. The devil had already stole his money. Already stole his innocence probably. And have destroyed his life and took him down to nothing. He eating pig feed. He's eating pig feed. And he says to himself, my father's servants live better than this. The citizen that he tied himself to wasn't even on his dad's level. But he was begging him for a job. Be gone with you. You ain't even on my dad's level. You ain't on my father's level. Why am I asking you for a job? You can't even pay. You catching on? They done stole from you everything that you have. Now they want you to work for them. They ain't even on your level. They ain't on your father's level. They ain't even on the level that you on. So when the man came back to himself, he said, man, I'm finna go to my dad's house. The servants in my dad's house have a feast daily. What I look like suffering. I can go home and I ain't got to suffer not one bit. I have a feast every day and just work around my dad's house and do what my daddy tell me to do. This is the type of warfare you guys are into, where they're trying to take things over. They're going to throw you out your mind. They're going to take your job from you. There's going to be jobs that you're going to work, and the enemy is going to take that job from you. They're going to force you to quit. They're going to force you to quit. They're going to play with your paycheck. You know how many checks I done got, and I'm not going to work for free. I can't work for free. So at some point, I gotta let it go. I gotta take the loss. Remember, I told you about my son, or baby, I'm gonna be here when you get back. I'm gonna try to hold down the fort as long as I can. But when you have to abandon that fort, look, I try to hold it down as long as I can. I went up on the all-out attack. I had to provide for myself. I had to do what I had to do for myself. At some point, this fort was going to be lost anyway, because either I can abandon it or I might end up going down with the ship with it. And my life is more valuable. It's better to flee that situation than to sit there going through that, knowing that there is better out there. Now, is that putting you in a compromise? Yes. Because that may be what one place that's safe, and it's not safe anymore. Know what we're dealing with. They come in